Designed and produced by the American aircraft manufacturer Convair, it was the first operational American bomber capable of reaching Mach 2 speeds and high altitudes to avoid Soviet interceptors. The B-58 Hassler was developed for the Strategic Air Command, or Strategic Air Command, in the mid-50s. It entered service in March of 1960 and was operated for a decade by two Strategic Air Command bomber wings. It was considered a difficult plane to fly, imposing a heavy workload on its three-man crew. Despite its sophisticated technology, its operational flexibility was limited due to its high operating cost and changes in strategic missions, with the emergence of high-altitude surface-to-air missiles. This made its operational life relatively short, from 1960 to 1970, until they were replaced by the F-111, a more economical plane to operate. Welcome to a new video from Aeropedia. In 1949, the United States Air Force requested the submission of proposals for the construction of a new supersonic bomber, where many companies such as Boeing, Convair, Curtiss, Douglas, Martin, and North American presented, and they ended up selecting Convair's proposal, Model 4. Convair, which had built the XF-92A and the EFA-102 with pure delta wing, designed Model 4 around a large delta wing. This offered a good internal volume for fuel and support systems. It also provided a low wing load which allowed supersonic flight in the stratosphere, half between 50,000 to 70,000 feet or about 15,000 to 21,000 meters. The configuration studied involved matching the delta with a relatively thin fuselage that housed a crew of 2 or 3 people. A key feature of the design was to house both the armament and most of the fuel within a large external capsule, which allowed a reduction in the size of the aircraft. It was during this phase of development that Convair decided to take advantage of recent developments made by General Electric, selecting the setup of 4 J79 engines housed in gondolas. Under the wings, this was the same engine later used by the F-1 104 Starfighter and the F-4 Phantom II. The recently formulated area rule was also applied in the design, which turned out to be an aerodynamic redesign of the aircraft, making its fuselage even thinner. In February of 1953, the Air Force issued a contract to develop 2 prototypes of the Convair design, called XB-58 and 11 pre-production specimens, IB-58A that were, and 11 pre-production specimens, IB-58A, which had been formally designated. B-58. In December of 1952, the first of them flew for the first time on November 11, 1956. The prototype surpassed Mach 1 for the first time on December 30th of that year. A total of 116 of these aircraft were produced, ending up as 30 test aircraft and 86 B-58A production models. This aircraft was a record-breaking plane in its time. In 1961, Commander Henry Duchenfort and his crew broke the speed record on a closed 2,000-kilometer circuit. To name just one of them. Although its wing generated a considerably low air load, it proved to be surprisingly suitable for low altitude and high-speed flights. To protect against the heat generated during Mach 2 flight, the crew compartment, landing gear bays, and areas where the electrical systems were located were pressurized and air-conditioned. The B-58 was one of the first extensive applications of aluminum honeycomb panels that joined two layers of exterior and interior aluminum into a honeycomb panel of aluminum or fiberglass. Its most novel feature was its long ventral cargo container, that is, under the fuselage of almost 19 meters with a cargo pod integrated into its aerodynamic design for the transport of external fuel. But it also had a long-range radar at its front, a nuclear bomb, electronic warfare equipment, and chaff and flare launchers fully integrated into the original design of the plane. From the beginning, this could be easily replaced by other containers. The three crew members of the attack ship, pilot, co-pilot, and the defensive systems operator. Radar and attack guide that could control the entire combat squadron over enemy territory without the help of ground-based radars. These three were accommodated in individual tandem cabins, one behind the other, equipped with launchable escape pods to protect the pilots at the time of emergency ejection, flying at high altitude and supersonic speed. A very original and unique technological solution for its time, but that was not applied in other American combat aircraft. Due to the greater weight of the capsules, their high cost, and their very specific function. Think that it is very difficult to perform ejections at supersonic speeds. If a plane has any kind of problem, the first thing that usually happens is that it loses speed, and the ejection would then occur at lower speeds. It has a high landing gear, mounted on a special tripod with double triangle bars. The front landing gear, with two wheels, lifts forward to be stored under the front radar cone of the ship. The main landing gear had 8 small wheels on each side and were stored under the many rooms. Its operational life was very short due to the high maintenance cost of a supersonic aircraft of these characteristics, which had to face many air pressures. The heat, tension on the fuselage, wear on the engines, and fatigue on the wings all affect the aircraft's wings, in flights at supersonic speeds and at high operational altitude. Due to the emergence of new tactical missiles with greater precision, these long-range supersonic bombers became obsolete and the development of new mass production models was not continued. I hope you liked it. If so, leave a like and you can leave me a message in the comment box also asking me for the planes you would like to see. The most requested will appear little by little. Until a new Aeropedia video.